Alright, I do have an idea for something we can do as a club today, but it's not going to take long, so let's get to our emails for this week. We have a pretty big backlog, so we're going to do a few extras today. Not that I want any of you to stop emailing. You've been great at sending in questions. If you want to send in questions, send them to... Let's get started. Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well over there. So many of us care about and support you. My question for everyone is, what's a weird talent that one of the other club members has that we wouldn't know about? John, redacted. Oh, good question. Thank you, John. We really appreciate all the love and care you all have shown us these last few weeks. It really means a lot to us. One quick point to make. Make sure you're careful if you use a signature in your emails to us. John accidentally left his whole name in there. Pardon me, burping again. Now, I'll always try to edit out any personally identifying information I find. But I'm not perfect and I don't want to accidentally dox you. So just make sure you protect yourself on top of my protecting you. Okay, everyone? On with the question. I'll go first. Natsuki is weirdly knowledgeable about medicine and first aid. I think she actually has a copy of Grey's Anatomy. And sometimes, if you're talking about some medical topic, she'll just randomly jump in with expert level knowledge. It's all true.
Are you maybe thinking about becoming a doctor or something like that?
Nah, not really. I don't think I'd want to deal with that kind of stuff on a daily basis. I just really like having the knowledge. It'd be super useful in a pinch. Which reminds me, Yuri picks locks. Isn't that illegal? No. It's only illegal if you do it for an illegal purpose, like without consent or someone else's lock or to steal something. I never pick locks I'm not supposed to. Interesting. I can see how it would be useful. What got you into this? Sometimes I choose new hobbies or skills to learn that challenge my weaknesses. I've never been very good with fine manual dexterity, so I tried lockpicking because that requires it.
How did Natsuki find out about this?
I locked myself out of my locker one time. Yuri saw that I was having trouble, so she came over and said, "Let me try." And I was like, how are you going to do any better? You don't have the key either. But by the time I finished saying that, the door was open. She wouldn't tell me how she did it at first, but I pried and eventually found out. Your turn to tell us about a secret talent, Yuri. I guess mine should be about Sayori to keep the chain, correct? I'm not sure if this counts as something surprising that you might not already know, but Sayori is exceptionally good at detecting deception. If she played poker, she'd be very, very good. When she says someone's lying or telling the truth, she's basically always right.
I'm not that good at it. Mostly I'm just good at hiding things myself, so I know what it's like when other people are hiding things.
I think there's more to it than that. Even if it's unconscious and you're not aware you're doing it, I think you're able to read people's faces for clues as to their truthfulness.
Maybe. Mostly I just think I know what kinds of situations it makes sense for people to tell lies or truths in.
Well, I don't know. I mean, whenever Monica talked to you in the base game, you didn't seem to know whether she was lying or not.
Let's talk about Monica. I know you guys have seen that Monica's a very good club leader, but she's also really good at the more rough and tumble politics stuff. It's actually really hard for clubs to get resources at our school. The fact that a club with 5 people gets a room all to themselves, with no advisor, and we actually get small amounts of funding, that's pretty amazing. That's all because Monica's really, really good at her job. I went with her to one of the student council meetings once. Monica was really scary, you guys. Not like angry yelling scary, but like the kind of scary where it feels like the other person always knows what you're going to do and has it all planned out.
I prefer to think of it as being effective rather than scary. That was a great question, John. Thank you.
Has anyone in the club ever been cheated on or cheated themselves?
I have not. I've never really had a relationship like that with anyone. So no.
No.
Yes. Who cheated on you? No one did. I was the cheater.
Oh.
Oh my god, Natsuki! What did you do? I would never have guessed you of all people.
It is pretty out of character. Okay, so look. There was this boy I liked. This was a couple years ago before the literature club. And we sort of had a thing. We'd hang out a lot and talk. He was always there for me when I was feeling down, and I was always there for him. We never kissed, and I think we were both too scared to say boyfriend or girlfriend. But there were a lot of meaningful hugs and stuff. Anyway, I started to get really scared about what our relationship meant. That's part of why we never made it official. I was afraid.
Was it you were afraid? What is it you were afraid of exactly?
Getting hurt, I guess. It seems really stupid in retrospect, but I was really worried about the hypothetical situation where I'd let myself get really into him, and then he'd leave, or something else bad would happen. So I started hanging out with this other guy a lot. I didn't really have any feelings for him, although he certainly wasn't bad looking or anything. But I'd kiss him and smack him on the butt in public and do a bunch of other PDA like that. This sounds like really out of character for Natsuki. I'm sorry. I guess I thought I was proving to myself that I wasn't too attached to the guy I actually liked. Because, hey, if I had things with multiple boys going, the one I liked couldn't be that important to me, could he? So what ended up happening? Well, one day the guy I actually liked found out. I don't know why I thought so, but I thought he'd never find out. Like, to me, these were two separate things, and I was doing the second one to protect myself in the first. And I didn't expect them to mix. You had it really compartmentalized, it sounds like. There's that word again. Yeah. Anyway, the guy I actually liked was super hurt. I hadn't thought about his feelings at all until then. But I felt awful about what I had done.
So what happened then? Did you talk to him about it?
No, I was too ashamed and he was too upset. We haven't really talked since then. I just accepted that I fucked it up and I didn't really deserve another shot at it. It sucked and I'm really sorry about what I did to him. It's a mistake I learned from. I know how important it is to think about the feelings of the other person in a relationship, and how dangerous it can be to try to protect yourself too much. Well, that was really brave of you to share, I'd say. It's hard to talk in depth about something you're not proud of. Yeah, but you have to. You have to look at the things you fucked up on. You have to look it right in the eye. Otherwise, you'll never learn. And if you try to hide those things from other people, that doesn't work out great either, because they'll find out. You have to take ownership of it and let people know on your terms. Like I just did. Seems like a good time to move on to the next question.
Sayori, you remember anything from Act 2? I never deleted, but you were brought back somehow. Did you retain any memory? Did you go through the good ending or the bad ending in Act 4?
Monica, what was it like in Act 4 for you? Obviously you were still there, even though you hadn't deleted. What did you experience? Pardon me, I had to cough and muted. Man, a couple of really heavy ones in a row. Sayori, do you want to go first?
I sort of remember what it was like when I was gone. It was a lot like a weird dream. I wasn't aware of who I was, or what I was really. I was just kind of there. I couldn't really tell you what it was like exactly. Something like Monica's Save Me poem, just things drifting by. When I came back after Monica left, the first things seemed normal, but then I started to understand what had happened, including the hanging. And it was only then that I started to make sense of that weird dream I thought I had. As to your other question, I've been through all the endings. The good one, the bad one, the one where I randomly became aware of what was happening at the very beginning of the game. That was awful. And this one, which is nice because it's not an ending at all.
Basically, for us to get to where we are, everyone had to go through the experience of the game several times. So we've got all those memories incorporated into ourselves.
What was it like for you in the last part of the game, Monica? I'm assuming they mean the normal ending. All I remember is that I was talking to the player, and then suddenly I was aware of Monica being there, controlling the game and taking it away, even though I couldn't see her at all.
So, all that time when the game was shut down, but I was still conscious? I think pieces of me must have been getting into other files in the game. Somehow after I was deleted, I was still vaguely aware of what was happening, and I still had some control over it. Yeah, you were stuck in the RAM. That's how I was able to talk to the player afterwards. Right at that moment, I felt awful. Like I was the cause of everything terrible that had happened.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, you basically were.
I kind of hated myself. I thought maybe if I just restarted everything without me there, that would let everyone have a normal experience. And I could pay penance for what I had done by suffering through being aware of the game, but not being in the game. I didn't understand that if I wasn't there, Sayori would become the president and would then know what's going on. Once I saw that, or what was happening to Sayori, I knew I had to jump in and stop everything. Otherwise, Sayori might have hurt herself, or the others, or the player, or me. Anyway, after that, it felt like I couldn't do anything right at all. And it felt like the Literature Club was this horrible cursed thing, that it would be better if it had never existed. So I got rid of it. Or at least I tried to. But just like I was still there after I had been deleted, it turns out that there was a way to reconstitute everything. And it was just me and Sayori there for a long time, trying to decide what we should do.
And trying to work through our issues.
Yeah, that took a while. But that's all a story for another day. Let's see if we can get a more lighthearted email going, huh?
Question for all the girls. If you had to have a serious, dedicated romantic relationship with someone in the club other than MC, who would it be and why? Why, yeah, that says Arya.
That's definitely more lighthearted.
I should probably answer this one in private one by one, so no one has to be really embarrassed.
That makes sense.
Everyone but Monica backs away at that respectful distance.
Okay, so my answer is Yuri. I'm really attracted to intelligence, and Yuri's very intelligent. Sometimes she overdoes it a little bit, and is kind of a show-off, it's true. But she has a good heart, and she's a genuinely interesting person. And it doesn't hurt that she's also very physically attractive. Also, even though my answer is Yuri, I really had to consider Sayori. I really admire her positivity and her willingness to sacrifice for others, which is why she's the vice president. Even though she goes too far with her self-sacrificing sometimes. But she's wonderful to spend time with and it's very fun, so if it weren't for Yuri, it would be Sayori. As for Natsuki, let's just say that I'm glad we're friends. Okay, who's next? Oh, I'll go.
Natsuki looks back to make sure everyone is far enough away.
Okay, don't tell anyone this. I know this is like the meme or whatever, but it's Yuri for me. Sayori's a close second because she's super cool and fun. But me and Yuri, we have that whole frenemy yin-yang opposites attract thing going, you know? And that is totally hot. I would totally be the caring, protective, older one too, and she would be the young, naive, fragile one.
I think you have that backwards.
Even though, whoa, that's so weird because she's the tall one and you're the short one. So yeah, Yuri. Your turn, Sayori.
I still haven't made up my mind. Who am I kidding? It's definitely Natsuki. I love the forthright way she lives her life. And she's always so funny and nice. Actually, a lot of it's probably that she's always looking out for me also. She's always making sure people don't hurt my feelings and that I'm okay. So she'd probably make a choice for me.
I guess that leaves me. I find it gets difficult to pick between Natsuki and Sayori.
Aw, nobody wants Monica.
Natsuki's the one I'd have more raw attraction to. Our interpersonal dynamic is a lot of fun. But to be honest, I'm not sure it would be the most stable long-term relationship. I feel like we'd fight a lot. So I think my choice would have to be Sayori. She's the kindest, least judgmental person I've ever met. She loves everyone and everything. It's so nice to be around someone you know will always accept you. I think that's what relationships are supposed to be about. So Sayori for me. I guess we're all done with that one. Next email.
For Yuri, the level 9 or less. What was that book you were reading in the episode 2? And what was the one in episode 3?
It was the same book each time, actually. It's Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. I really recommend it. It's very dark, but if you're into that sort of thing, you'll love it. And the trouble is that, like a lot of McCarthy's writing, it's a little bit inaccessible and demanding. I recommend you start with his book, The Road, if you're new to reading this stuff. But if you jump right into the Blood Meridian, it's quite a ride.
Those don't have to be separated. Into is one word sometimes.
I actually finished it not too long ago. I'm considering rereading it right away. But there are so many books I have waiting for me, so we'll see. Normally that would be about where we'd stop the emails today, but you all have sent in so many and I feel bad not replying to all more of them. So we'll do a few more before we stop for the day. Next one.
Hey Nazi, what food is delicious but a pain to eat?
Now this is a question. Honestly, it's between two fruits, but I have to give a runner-up prize to oranges. Oranges would be great if they were not incredibly annoying to peel.
Yeah, oranges are kind of problematic.
But the two big champions here are kiwis and pineapples. It's a tough call, but in the end I think it has to be pineapples.
Pineapples hate you. I know, I used to pick them up when I was ringing them up at the grocery store, and I promise you, pineapples hate you.
You can get a kiwis relatively easy with the spoon trick, but pineapples are a huge pain in the ass no matter what. But they are damn tasty. Good question. Next one.
What happens after school's over? Is time actually faster in Game World? Is there a college setting? Also, what is the best chocolate covered food?
Oh boy, the answer to this one is a little complicated. Time passes, in a way. Like, one day follows another, causes precede effects, and so on. We don't get older. And we keep infinitely repeating our senior year of high school, over and over. No one but us finds this strange at all. I mean, they'll tell us that we need to get good grades for college next year and such, but we just keep repeating it.
The other weird thing is that we actually aren't that weirded out by it. Like, we know actually that this is bizarre, but it just seems normal. Probably the game has us built to feel that way. So thankfully it's not too distressing.
If I recall, Monica was trying to find a way to get rid of this problem and let us all lead normal lives. I was, but there are a lot of questions. I'd have to mess with the world.bat system to get it to simulate basically everything. And I'd probably have to tamper with whatever in our curve files makes us okay with just endlessly repeating high school. And that's problematic. Plus, there are a lot of troubling questions. Like, right now, we're basically immortal. If I do this, could we die of aging? I don't know. So for now, we're just going to hang on in the time loop until we learn more about our situation. At least this means our grades can't matter that much. I would like to go to college, though. Maybe someday. As to your other question about the best chocolate-dipped food, it's definitely strawberries for me.
Also strawberries! I love chocolate and strawberries together!
I actually love chocolate-covered almonds. I can't get them too often because I eat them so quickly. I mean, there's all sorts of baked goods that have chocolate covering that I love. But if you mean some other food dipped in chocolate that normally isn't... Bacon? Seriously? Seriously, bacon. Yeah. Next question. Oh, MJ, you actually answered my question. I love you all so much, especially nothing. Anyway, my next question is for the whole club again. Are you guys aware of Doki Doki fusions like Sionica, Sayori, etc.? Asks Lyra. Hi again, Lyra. Clearly someone of taste. But yes, we know about the whole fusion thing. Technically, I think I could actually do that to us, although I don't think any of us would want to. My favorite is Sionica. Good choice, good choice. That one's a big fan favorite, I think. I think it's probably my favorite too. It's definitely one of the most interesting possibilities. You know, you could refer to her as a female, she is one.
I like Natsuri. They're such different people, and I think it's really fun to see what happened when you smoosh them together.
I'm not sure what to call the one I think is most interesting. Not Yori, I guess? But the Natsuki Sayori one. That creates someone so energetic and powerful that I doubt it could otherwise exist in reality. I think it would be fun to have a friend who was not Yori. Very good question. Let's see the next one. Hi there, Lurch Club. I have some questions to ask you, if I may. Firstly, not a question, but anyway. Happy birthday, Sayori. I hope you have a wonderful day. I also included a cinnamon bun in the file and attachments. Also, since you said you played Salvation, have you figured out the ARG that's hidden in the game files? It's really interesting and kind of stuff. Sayori, have you finished the portrait of Markov? If so, what's it about? I hope you can answer my questions. Have a great day. Dunzel.
Looks like I go first. Thanks for the birthday wishes. I'm happy to eat your virtual cinnamon bun. My birthday was last Thursday and it was mostly pretty okay. I don't want to spoil too much with Salvation. Just Google a bit if you get really stuck. It's not too hard to find. I'm sure it's fun when mods leave puzzles for you to solve in the game files, isn't it?
For some, I actually really hate ARGs. I have like an irrational hatred of them, and I don't know why, but they bother me to no end.
Next question is for you, Yuri.
I think I more or less say that Portrait of Markov is about in the regular game. A high school girl moves in with her long-lost sister, and then they all get involved with these escapees from a prison/cult that did human experimentation. And then as the plot goes on, you learn more and more about what the human experimentation cult was really doing. It gets quite eldritch. I'm not going to spoil it for you, just in case you ever get the chance to read it in your reality. I know that some of you think it's about Project Libitina, or whatever that is. And that we here in the Literature Club, especially me, might be associated with Project Libitina. But I don't think I am. So far as I know, anyway. But yeah, that's basically what it's about. It's very Lovecraftian. Okay, moving on.
Hello from quarantine. Does the coronavirus thing affect you guys at all? Oh no, this video is going to get...
No, it's a real-world disease. We're safe from in here. It's been kind of scary reading about everything happening in your world. But we'll be okay. So don't worry about us. But you should take very good care because the same isn't true of you. It wouldn't be very kind of you to endanger your health when you have someone who cares so much about you in here. So make sure to stay in, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and stay 6 feet away from each other. That's Monica's pandemic survival tip of the day. Alright, time to break it down and adjourn the club for the day, I think. Ugh. Okay, everyone. There's usually a little bit after the questions, and we've been kind of running a bit long in this recording, so Alex, I'm going to cut it off here. We're going to save and pick up with this next time. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed Doki Doki Club Meetings. Till next time!